Astonish, aka Ash McCormick, and welcome to the first episode of the newly rebooted show on the B-Side channel, B.A.R.S, the B-Side album review show, where we go in-depth into the newest independent albums hitting the music scene. This is a new show on the B-Side channel. We've completely redone the structure, so if you've watched the show in the past, this is going to be very different. But we've completely redone the structure in the hopes to create a platform for independent artists to not only share their new music, but to also go into the creative and creation process behind their new albums. The artists on these shows are hand-selected to appear on these shows because we really believe in the music that they're putting out. And we think that you should too. We think that you should be flooding your Spotify playlists with their tracks. We think you should be giving them streams. You should be watching their videos. You should be buying their merch, and you should be doing this yesterday. So that's what the show is intended to do, and we really hope that you give them a listen and you support our show to support these independent artists on this show. So we're gonna go ahead and put up the socials for all of our channels so that you can go ahead and follow, so that you can stay up to date on the independent artists and the best independent music out there. So go ahead and get out your phone, follow if you haven't already. Also, as always, if you want to follow me, you can follow me at What's Up Ash on Instagram and Twitch, and you can follow me at Ash Astonish on Twitter. And now I'm really excited because we've got two very special guests in the house. Please welcome Kasey Yale and Difinitiv. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited you guys are here.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you guys are dropping a new album. It's called Day and Night.
That's right, Day and Night.
It drops this Friday, and I'm super excited to hear about it. So let's just jump right in. So tell us, where are we going to be able to find the album?
So it'll be on Spotify, Apple Music. It'll also be on our website. It'll be on my website, theofficialyale.com. You can get it direct download from there, or you can go and stream it or buy it from iTunes and all that.
Awesome. So before we jump right in, is there anything that you want to tell us about the album? Give a little background or introduction to it.
To me, this album is just all about being real while remaining positive.
Nice.
And I mean, the last year, the atmosphere of it, it's just like, you want to show the wrestle of aiming for the peace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, totally. So I definitely want to talk about how you chose the title, but I personally felt like it was very fitting, because the album really does feel like it's got this like equal duality through it. Like it's really split between like some fun, catchy, energetic tracks, but it's also really balanced by this equal dose of like moody, like troubled, like down-tempo tracks that touch on like more serious subject matters and issues. So I feel like it really gave that balance between like a day and night or light or dark. Was that the intention and where the title came from, or was there something else that went into it?
Definitely, yeah. Just start a day. I mean, just like every day, seems positive, whatever. Day into night, man. Just light to dark.
Dope. So I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the head.
Awesome. So let's chat about the artwork a little bit. So it's kind of got like this. Is that a window pane? And it's got like some light shining through it with some red. Do you want to talk about the artwork at all?
Yeah. So, if you will, what I did was I took a picture of myself actually, and then I took a picture of the sun and the moon and some trees, and then kind of made it so that you didn't understand what anything was.
Right. Yeah.
And there's just this door of light in between it all that kind of, it just like anything that comes out from there emanates into anything, And I like the idea of something just having this light that nothing can touch.
Right. That's dope. Yeah, no, I like that. So you made it yourself?
I did, and then Devin put on some pretty dope finishing touches.
That's sick. Awesome. All right, so we start and end the album with Got Me Like. Is there any reason in particular that you decided to bookend this album with that track?
Well, yeah, it makes sense, It's like, I've said it in a couple interviews at this point. Nipsey said that life's a marathon, and I always say that every day is a marathon. And it's like sometimes you're just trying to get back to square one by the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
you know, and it doesn't always feel the same as in the morning. So same song, different mood.
Yeah. So, so you end the album with sort of a reprise to the intro track, right? But it's being a drop mix. It seems like an interesting choice for you. What inspired the drop mix being the way to close out the album?
That was my idea. Well, I guess it was just like, you know, it's almost like a bonus song.
Yeah.
That it was kind of like Kasey did have the idea too, that it was kind of like, we call that the night version. You know,
Yeah.
that it, since you said it is kind of a reprise. You know, it's a little bit different. Some of the same elements exist in it. So it was just kind of like, well, let's bring it back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's like, okay, the whole day happened. Now let's bring back like a different version of, in a way, a new day could start or end.
That's
if you will.
that's cool. I like that. That's awesome. So let's get into the track a bit. First off, I feel like the track itself is very you. The first time I heard it, I thought it suited you really well. Like it definitely feels like it's coming from like the day side of the album.
Oh yeah.
And it feels really sunny and energetic. It's very upbeat and sort of jazzy. The whole track is like really catchy and feel good. From the sound of it, it feels like it was like really fun for you to make.
I mean, just sitting in there, just watching Devin pull all the knobs and levers. Sorry, watching Difinitiv. My bad, bro. I'm giving out your name.
Thank you.
Watching Difinitiv pull out all the knobs and levers and just like cooking, you know. And I love to just sit in there and vibe when he's making stuff. But this was just like, I was just sitting there. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm on the beach right now.
Yeah.
Just chilling. And this has to happen.
Yeah. Can you talk a bit about like how the track came about and give us an idea about what the production process was like?
Yeah, usually for me, you know, I'll just cook stuff all the time. You know, moody stuff, happy stuff, whatever. I like to make a bit of everything. And usually when I have like an idea of whatever, an idea or whatever that I'm like, oh, this will work for Kasey, that it's kind of just like, okay, Kasey, you know, because we live together, so it's kind of like,
okay,
oh,
yeah.
hey, come over here.
That's super convenient.
Yeah. Or he'll just literally open up the door and be like, what's up? Like, hey. So it was kind of like that I, you know, like you said, he was just sitting in there while I was making this, and we were just kind of like, hey, like, let's do something on it. He wrote it, I think, the same day that I approached him with it. And then we kind of figured on the hook, as the audience will hear, is, you know, that it's just the simple, you got me, like,
Yeah.
ooh, you know.
Ooh.
What came first, the melody or the lyrics? Like, did you write the lyrics for the melody, or did you write the melody for the lyrics?
Nah, this is one of those things where it just kind of like came out.
Came together.
Right? Like it just
kinda
kind
very
of like,
organic. Like you guys
it
created
just-
it together. That's awesome.
like it just kind of just like you're feeling the song so strongly, right? And I always say like the best producers put you in your own world so
Right.
that you can just go and like be, you know, essentially you want to be. What's her name? Come on, she's legendary. In Sound of Music.
Oh, this is
No.
terrible.
Mary Poppins. We love you. We know your actual name. Mary Poppins. So, doggone it.
Julie Andrews?
Julie Andrews,
There we
thank
go.
you.
I didn't have to
Thank
look
you.
it up.
I had to, yeah. You want the producer to put you in your own world so that you can be Julie Andrews, jumping around on the hill, totally free to just sing whatever's alive in you.
Yeah, and that's what it was like.
That's exactly what it was like.
That's awesome. I'm gonna re-listen to that track with Julie Andrews dancing.
There you go.
You
got me like, ooh.
That's awesome. All right, so after a really peppy and upbeat track, you follow it with Upstream, which is a lot more down-tempo and mellow. And some of the production elements in particular, like the guitar and the drums, and some of the flow, to me, felt like really reminiscent of like kind of some late Mac Miller type elements. Did you have any sort of inspirations or influences for this track?
That's actually an interesting one, because that song came from a jam that Colin Moore, Kasey, and I were all doing live and just recording into my setup and just all jamming on the guitars and just filming it, like not live or anything, just to have fun. And that song was probably about 45 minutes into what we jammed on. Kasey actually sang the rough version of it live into the thing, and then I just kind of went in and chopped it all up and made
Oh, wow.
it into a song. And then, so yeah, I will say that like I am very influenced by like Mac and anybody that's just super creative and willing to just, I don't know, I love live instruments.
Yeah,
so it's
no,
like,
totally. I definitely heard that on this track. So we can't really talk about Upstream without mentioning the stellar feature on the track, Difinitiv himself. I had no clue that was you.
Yep.
Yep. So the track says featuring
back.
Colin Moore. So I thought that Colin Moore was the feature, but that's not the
Right,
case.
because Difinitiv
Colin
is
Moore
always the
is
producer.
featured on the production, and you are the guest verse.
Yep.
So
Yep.
why is the track list not featuring Difinitiv?
Oh,
You just wanted to be low key?
Yeah, more low key. It's kind of, I don't know, actually. I'm just kind of low key about my craft. man.
There's actually a metadata thing to this because it's Kasey Yale and Difinitiv on the actual thing, and so you can't put featuring the same artist afterwards.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or we could have just kept it Casey and then featuring Difinitiv.
Could have been featuring Difinitiv and
Whatever.
Colin
Would
Moore.
have been funny.
But yeah, no, I thought that was an interesting. I totally did not know that was you. So that took me by surprise, and I was very happy with it.
Appreciate you.
I have to give you props because I thought that your guest verse was like impeccable for the track.
Thank you.
I thought it suited the track perfectly, and the track itself, it kind of feels like you're floating, right? And in fact, floating upstream is the first part of your verse, right?
Yep.
But your verse comes in, and I feel like it kind of gave the track some guidance. Like it was like, okay, like we're kind of cruising, like we're floating, but okay, now the foot's on the gas, like we're really going somewhere, like we're on a mission now.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought that this verse fit really well with the track, and I'm just really happy that you jumped on it. That was a really nice surprise.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk about any of the production process with this? Because I know that you mentioned Mac, and is there any other like inspirations or like how did this track come about production wise?
We're still on Upstream.
Yeah.
Just chopping up the live session, and then for me, like I'll kind of just hole up when I'm writing, so make the beat and whatever, and I have to really detach from the production because like if I'm overthinking the production, like I've always said it's easier for me to be featured on a song than it is for me to write to my own stuff. So that being said, yeah, production, I just wanted to keep it bummy, like and sounding just kind of like floaty and airy, and like you could be watching the sun go down, drinking with some friends at a skateboard park, whatever, like literally just lifestyle.
Totally. Yeah. So I love the wordplay on your verse.
Thank you.
You say the lonely boy picked up the microphone, singing, "Boy, if you don't tell them, then they may never know." But went out along the road, 'cause where I've been, you will never go. My heart's been dipped in gold, but I'm been looking for my home. Going back and forth, I always find a reason to rock the boat. There's some production elements in doubling up the back and forth that I thought were like a nice touch and brings like a nice allusion to that phrase, but also giving it like that bounce element. But that particular phrasing caught my ear because there's not only like a nice visual element to that, but it also evokes like that feeling of being lost, but following your dreams regardless, and like needing to shake shit up a bit.
Yeah, letting it just, I don't know, just letting your goals be the guide, man.
Yeah.
Because it's always broken.
Yeah. What was the process of like collabing with both of you, doing vocals, not just production?
Well, I mean, I kind of did my part during the jam, and he just like grabbed that and was like, all right, great. Now I'm going to put a verse on it.
I told him it was funny because like we couldn't articulate exactly what he was saying. And I was just like, hey, can you come in and just sing that exactly the same way?
Oh,
and
that's
he was
right.
like,
We
I
did
don't
do
know
that,
exactly
yeah.
what I said. And I was like, just make it up. Like, just make it sound the same. It was really organic.
And then I just picked the parts that I remembered that I liked from it, I think. Yeah.
That's sick. Well, awesome. I really enjoyed that track, so I'm happy that you guys were able to
Appreciate
collab
you.
like that.
Thank you.
So then we've got Runaway, which is a track you actually released last year, right?
Yeah, this is a remaster.
It's a remaster. Okay, cool. So one of the first things I noticed about this track is that it sounds, at least in the beginning, like it's a little deeper of a range for you than you normally sing in, right? What was the development of this track like, and how did you decide to start out with that like more deeper, sultry sound in the beginning?
Ooh, well, I was sitting at the end of a cul-de-sac, pissed off at the world, the whole world. And Yeah, but leave now,
Language.
right? That's how that goes. Okay.
Yeah.
So but I started thinking, what if I could write to everybody that I'm mad to?
Mm.
Let me write an open letter. If you're hurt, that's no excuse to be rude to me.
Mhm.
Right? It's like I want to be a consoling ear, but also like I'm not playing games.
Right.
I want to see you and I want to love you as you are. But also, I'm your friend and I want to say, this hurts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's what Runaway is about. It's about once you come to that point of knowing that what you do, and I think everybody has to wrestle with this in some form or another. Maybe I'm wrong. That what you do causes damage. How long do you run away from it before you deal with it?
Right. Yeah. That's great. I love that concept. So I just wanted to touch on a particular lyric that stood out to me because this part in particular, I feel like really represented that duality that's present throughout the album. So you say, you're alone in crowded rooms, sweat too much when the speaker's mute, need your phone just to feel like you, chasing every little thing that moves. And then it moves into the type of vocals that we recognize more from you, where it's like that sort of emotional incline. And it's
Right.
like a nice switch, and it also represents that duality. But so then it switches to scared to move when they don't approve, numb from hate when you feel accused. See, I can relate because I do it too. You're not alone, if only you knew. So you really evoked really elegant wordplay here of a concept that's like really prevalent in our society of like feeling alone, but also needing each other,
Right.
but pushing back against each other.
See, yeah, and I'm so glad that you like that verse because that's my favorite word right there too.
Yeah.
Is you're not alone. Only if you knew.
If you knew, yeah. I thought that's so great. So I mean, that's what you're talking about in Runaway, right?
Right.
So it's like this concept where we like feel so alone, but everyone feels like that. Like we think that we're the only one that feels like that because
And
we
nobody
only
wants to
live
talk about
within
it
our
either.
own right. We
Yeah.
only live within our own being. So like we don't think about it, and we run away because we're scared. But we just need to depend on each other.
Right.
So I mean, I guess was that what you were trying to portray in the track, or was there any other emotions or concepts that inspired the lyrics here?
No, that's it. Because then when we go into the now, once you give them what they want, well, you're bringing them hell, right?
Right.
So it's like no, it just keeps on ramping up on that. It's like if dreams can, because if you think that you've been, because if you think that you've been sleeping well, then don't you blink, 'cause your night's going well. You're deep in sleeping, all your friends can tell. Kind of like a play on that whole idea
Yeah.
that what you focus on can manifest, right? And right. So it's like, all right, do you want to bring them heaven? Do you want to bring them hell?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to your dreams, right?
No, that's awesome. But overall, I think you expressed like a relatable concept in this track with really elegant wordplay and some really nice vocal elements that are a little different from you, but still within your comfort range. But I think it suited you really well and showed another side to you, so I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
So then we have 3 a.m. right in the middle of the album. And you've got some features on this as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Young M and Jordan Smooth. Tell us a little bit about each of these guys and how they got on that track.
Oh, okay. So that one happened. We were having a cook up. We have these like super
cook-up?
sessions. Yeah.
That's what you call
Nice little cook up.
Nice.
Super sessions. And, we had this was the first time that we hosted it, and I've been trying to do this because I have like a setup in each room, so it's like you could be doing beats in this room and this and this.
That's sick.
So
yeah.
so I was like, we had one. We've been at a lot of sessions that were very unproductive, right?
Yeah, of
You know,
course,
we
of
all
course.
have.
There's
But-
going to be more unproductive than productive.
Oh yeah, especially the more people you get, the more
Yeah.
alcohol you get in the room.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be unproductive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we this was one that I cooked the beat up that took me like 20 minutes, and there was Kasey and Young M were in the room, Mario were in the room, and Jordan was out in the other room recording vocals for a different song. Anyways, Kasey came in, barging in, and was like, "Yo, I got a hook." It was like, "Okay, come in, lay it down." And then Mario was like, "I got a verse." So like we literally did the whole song in one night. So it was
Wow.
like beat everything. So all natural yet again.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then how did you meet up with these guys? Like, how do you know each other?
I used to work with Jordan,
Okay.
and then Young M is a friend of Jordan's. So
Oh,
it was
dope.
just at one of the other cook-ups that,
Nice.
you know, we didn't get as much done.
Yeah.
You know?
But we met people like Young M, right? So-
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool.
So this is another really fun track, and I feel like it also is really signature to your sound. And a lot of your tracks really evoke this like really fun energy. And I know you like to like move around when you perform and like really feel it. So that suits you. And of course, you and Difinitiv have like a lot of experience working together. So I feel like you're really able to harness that sound. And I feel like it really shows on this track. But you've also got like this really solid trap beat in this song over like this syncopated melody. And then you also have like a is it a synth in the melody? So there's like a, let's see, can we listen to it? You can listen to it. Let's listen to it. So you got like that. But then it changes,
Like a
right?
Guitar.
Then changes
You got me
that,
driving
right?
dead.
I won't
got
give
me
away
losing my
too many
favorite track.
secrets,
Yeah.
but it's just another guitar. I'm not
It's
gonna
just
lie.
another guitar?
Yeah,
All right, that's
yeah.
cool.
Layered.
No, but I really liked how it echoes, how like you use the same sound, but then you
Mhm.
echo it in like a different
Yeah,
sound.
thank you.
So I like that. So do you want to go into the production process on this track a little bit?
Sure. How do I make beats?
Or just
I
like
don't
what
know.
inspired that type of sound?
I honestly love making super fast-paced, uppity energy, trap-based beats that have a lo-fi feel, because it provides a different element than just like the lo-fi boom bappy, like
Yeah.
you know, chill out music and whatever. It's almost like, okay, like we're here to party or something. Like I don't know, but either way, it's like it's snapping. So whatever vibe you get from it, that's honestly what I'm looking for. But just like I love making really the peppy stuff. You
Yeah.
know, it's just a lot of fun. You can't just make angry trap beats all day
yeah.
like expect to like come out and be happy about stuff. Like,
And I
you know.
think that's why you guys work so well together, is
Yeah.
because this is the energy and pep.
That's the guy,
so like,
exactly.
And then this is the producer for it. So I think that's why you guys mesh
good.
so well.
Appreciate that.
So 3 a.m. is basically like a fun hook, and then you've got like your guest verse based off of that hook. So did you write the hook for the song or the song for the hook? Like how did that work?
I mean, it was just so. We were so happy because it was like this idea that we'd been talking about of like, dude, we know all these talented people. If we literally just get them in a room,
Right.
get them in the studio, bam, we can just get songs done. And the first time that we actually hosted this thing, we got one out of it, right? And we put it on an album, and now all of our friends are celebrating that fact, right? So it was cool because it was just like, yes, we did it all in the moment. We didn't overthink it. We didn't get too critical, and we just did it as a team, and boom, look what happened.
Right.
Literally no redos, no re-records,
That's
no
amazing.
nothing. It was just
That's the dream.
Step up, know you killed it, leave,
It's
right?
That's awesome. So what was the time frame for that? Like I know you said a day, but like
2 hours.
2 hours?
Maybe 2 hours, yeah.
2 hours you had the song done, and then you just mastered it afterwards.
Yeah, just mix it and master it after.
That's sick. It's
Yeah.
amazing. That's the goal right
Moving at
there.
light speed.
Mic drop.
Is that your green mic?
Yeah, my green mic
Oh
fell.
no!
It fell out of
Don't
my
drop your
pocket.
green mic.
I'm
You
sorry,
dropped your
MXL. Here, I'll
There you
give
go.
him some love.
Well, product placement.
And then you also incorporated a clean version into this track as well, or into the
Yes.
album as well.
Well, it's the only song that actually
Yeah,
needs
so
a clean
that's what I was gonna say, is that I thought it was a strange choice at first, but then I realized that it's the only track that needed a clean version.
Right.
Because every other track on every other track on the album is clean, and I saw that, and I actually went back and I looked at your Spotify, because as a DJ, I download both the clean and the explicit, because I just need both depending on what my audience is. So
Right.
I use Spotify to see if I need to download a clean one or not. And so I went back, and there's no ease. There's no ease on any of your
There's
stuff.
no ease on
That's
my
just-
stuff.
that's
If you
it.
want it, if you want
Therapy.
the ease, you go to find the features, right?
Right, yeah. So the features is the only one you need. And so now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever actually heard you say an expletive in real life. Then that's just your style, isn't it? You just don't.
It slips out.
Yeah.
But if I use it either in love. I hope to.
But
I hope
you use
to.
it as like a
or
means-
I use it when you don't want to see me.
Right.
You know?
It's like a means of communication for you.
Yeah, I for me, like, I used to cuss so much that like people would just get offended. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm just gonna like start replacing my words with other things,
Mhm.
and then I just forced myself to do it for so long that now, when I say it, it's like I really want to mean it, you know.
Well,
Right.
he means it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I respect that, but I think it's really cool that you're able to craft this wordplay without relying on an expletive as a filler. Because I feel like a lot of artists use expletives, like lean on expletives as a filler. It's kind of like a crutch, like oh that rhymes. I guess
As
I'll just-
opposed to
I'll throw it in
using
there.
it to express yourself.
Right, exactly. But you're also obviously not opposed to your features using it, and so that's what I appreciate about you as an artist is that you always speak in your authentic voice, but you also allow others to speak in their authentic voice as well.
I'm so glad you recognized.
That's awesome.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
But yeah, so I think that it shows that both are able to not only coexist but also collaborate and thrive. So I noticed that, and so I just wanted to appreciate it.
That's the culture that I want to perpetuate.
Yeah.
You know, with who I am as a person. If I leave a legacy on this in this world, it's that, you know, I wanted people to know that we can have conversations. We can let the other person finish talking, even if they're going to take 2 hours.
Mhm.
We can hear them, and then we can respond, and that's how peace happens.
Right.
You know?
That's awesome. I like that. All right, so then we have lunar eclipse. So lunar eclipse comes in and it brings us back down tempo a bit, and it feels also like a bit of a different sound for you. On this album in particular, I feel like I hear you kind of half the time have like a strong footing in the type of sound that you're comfortable with, but also equally exploring into different genres.
Yeah, that'd be correct.
So like on this track, I hear like some cloud rap elements a little bit, and some different vocal layers that you're experimenting with. So what was that process like for both of you during the creation process?
Want to go first?
Moody music. Yeah, no, I just like I made it. I started making the beat, and I think that was one of the ones that I just kind of made on my own, and then had Kasey come in on. But it was like I just wanted to make something really moody. You could almost say Travis Scotty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I definitely picked up on that.
And it almost felt like this kind of dark opera to me. Like that it starts out with this dirgy like intro that just like takes the whole verse and then it hits, you know.
Right.
So I was just trying to I like to make things go from moody to just boom, like explosive, you know,
Yeah.
explosive moody or whatever you want to call it. So then Kasey just came and filled the thing up and it was done. Like, it was simple. You want to tell them about your
I mean, I love the track because I grew up doing musicals, and so
Yeah.
I kind of have this bit of a philosophy I don't tell everybody all the time, but basically, I think people work best when life is a musical. You know, like I just think of everything as a song. It's like
Yeah.
you're talking to me,
Yeah.
I might be hearing it as a song.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you know. And so it's like when I'm speaking, I'm always thinking it's like, hey, I'm in a musical everywhere I go. So I'm just might bust out singing. You can ask this dude. I'll just bust out singing anywhere, and I don't mean to. Sometimes, you know, it's inappropriate. I have to call that back. But, anyways, the point of this, that's like a sidetrack. The point of this song was just to express that feeling of when somebody goes into the next room, and it's a new connection, you know, and you're just on like that cloud nine,
Yeah.
and you're waiting to see what happens next. Right, and it's just that suspense, just that moment. That's what I wanted to capture.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you see like hear in color or like do you like hear in music?
Synesthesia?
Yeah. I feel like you like if any of a lot of the artists I know, I feel like you'd be one of those people.
No, I just hear what's out here in the world, and then I hear a lot of other things. You know, you could say I'm tuned into frequencies. You could say, you know, I'm hearing spiritually, but whatever it is, there's something else going on.
Yeah. Totally. I can see that about you. All right, so finally we have The Good Kid. Right before the finale of the Got Me Like Drop mix. And obviously the very interesting thing that sticks out on this track is the beatboxing in the intro. Can you tell us where that came from or where the inspiration for that sound came from?
Yo, so Kasey produced a lot of that record.
Ooh, I did not know this. Let's talk about that.
All right. Well, all I do all day is pick up my phone, get ideas, and record them into the phone. And I was at work, and one of my supervisors who I've known for like almost 10 years, I changed out of my clothes, and he saw that I had a tattoo. And he's like, Kasey, you got a tattoo? You used to be such a good kid. And I was like, oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
No, but so then I just started thinking. This was all, you know, a lot of this album was written during like one of the most, I've dealt with depression throughout my life.
Yeah.
And thanks to God, I haven't dealt with depression for a long time. But this last year, I really kind of did have to deal with it a bit again.
I think we all did.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was like, you're frustrated, you're depressed,
Yeah.
you're feeling at wit's end, and then someone's like, you used to be good. And it's like,
doesn't
What
help.
happened?
but he's a friend. But he's a
Right,
friend.
Right.
So I did the right thing. I wrote the song. I went to him. I said, this is what I wrote. I'm not mad at you. I'm thankful because you created this song.
Here's the song I wrote about.
Here's the song.
Wow.
Thank you. Love you. But yeah, that's how it got written. It was like, well, I need you to understand. And this is the deeper message. You're saying I used to be a good kid because I claim to be a Christian, right? And that is exactly why. Let's not mince words.
Right.
It's because of my faith that you're holding me to a higher standard. And I need you to stop that. Matter of fact, I need everybody to stop that. Because that's the problem.
Right.
And that's what creates cultures that won't talk about their shortcomings because everybody's expected to be perfect when nobody's perfect.
Right. And don't your tattoos, they're like, doesn't it have a cross in it?
Yeah,
There's three crosses.
It's Jesus' cross and the thieves.
Yeah. That's a good tattoo.
Thank you.
Like, you have a tattoo. I thought you were a good kid. That's a good tattoo. Doesn't the other one say God?
This man does not have tattoos.
It says, and yet God. So in spite of my chaos, there's God.
So such rebellious tattoos you've got there.
About God.
So I correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this is one of the more night feeling tracks on the album. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of more moody, and it handles a deeper subject matter. It talks about heartbreak, talks about losing trust in people, talks about going through changes, mentions substances, but also spirituality and really looking into oneself. So a particular lyric that stood out to me, I'm preaching authenticity because I'm an optimistic man. That's why I'm always warring against my flesh because the battle's inside my skin.
Right.
That's powerful stuff.
Thank you.
Can you elaborate a bit on what you meant when you wrote that, and how were you inspired to incorporate that lyric into the track?
Absolutely. So I can be an idealist and I can tell you all of my ideas, right? But as history proves, if my actions don't follow it, then what am I but hope deferred, right? And as I learned this, it's like, okay, I'm preaching authenticity. I'm telling everybody, hey, come real. Come real. Don't be ashamed. Just come real, right? But then I've got my own thing that I wrestle with where, I don't know if I want to say that. I know I want to be transparent. I know I like the idea of everybody being totally bare with each other, but are we actually comfortable with it, right? And I think that that's the fight. Yeah. And I say that because I wrestle against my flesh, right? And I'm going to get deep super quick, real quick. I do believe that carbon itself always wants to return to itself, and spirit always wants to return to spirit. I think that anything where the carbon gets to join other carbon is always a motive that becomes about how much can I add to my current carbon, right? And the more that this carbon gets, the less I feel that push of that fire inside. So I war against that carbon because I'm fire and I want to burn.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The good kid.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love all these tracks, but that was probably one of my favorite tracks on this album. That was great.
That one has a cool sound.
Yeah. So then we're back to the bookend of Got Me Like, for a very, I feel like a very cohesive body of work. I feel like 7's a good number for you, and I wasn't sure at first. I thought I was gonna feel like it was really short, but I feel like you kind of pulled a Kanye and like like made 7 just be like a really cohesive and solid track list that branches off that's still able to branch off into some new styles for you, but also sounds still very you. And I really enjoyed it, and you should both be proud of the work that you put in, because I think it's a really great project.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I feel really grateful that I've been able to have an early listen to it. So thank you both. Live music is coming back. Is there any track in particular that you're really excited to perform?
I love performing Therapy. But as far as off of this album,
Yeah.
mm,
Is there any ideas that you
oh,
come up with
Lunar,
performance stuff?
Good Kid, Got Me Like. Honestly, I'm excited.
The whole
I know
album.
it's gonna sound stupid, but yeah, I just want to go tour the album now.
Are you, are you gonna do both versions of Got Me Like? Are you gonna do the drop mix and the regular version?
I mean, it's gonna be fun to figure out how to
Right.
incorporate that into the show, right?
That's cool. All right. So you recently shot a new video.
Yes.
I know we don't have a date yet, but can you tell people where we'll be able to find it?
It'll definitely be on YouTube whenever that drops. It'll definitely be on, we always drop a version on IGTV, and you can always find it on our hyperlinks or our websites.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that video. I'll definitely be looking out for that. So go ahead, and do you want to tell them what your socials are so that they can keep a lookout for that?
Sure. I am Kasey Allen Yale. That's all one word. You can also find me under The Official Yale, but that's a broken link. So let's go with Kasey Allen Yale, or Kasey Yale on Spotify. The Official Yale, just so that I'm on top of the SEO and, Yale School doesn't beat me out. Anyways, go ahead, Difinitiv.
I'm Difinitiv. Difinitiv on Instagram is DIFINITIV. And then on Twitter, just Difinitiv Music, spelled the same way. Quite
Awesome.
simple. Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned Therapy, so we're going to go ahead and check that out. In the meantime, so we're going to check out your most recent video, give people a taste of what they find if they catch a live show and just a feel of your energy. Do you want to go ahead and introduce that video for us?
Sure. Oh, just speak to the camera real quick. Hey, everybody, you're watching Therapy with Difinitiv, Oso, California, and Kasey Yale.
Let's check it out.
My psychiatrist, I explain like all my pain and all my mind bliss. I give my heart up to the Lord, but I'm a nihilist. And I be reaching for my sword, but it's a mild kiss. So Cupid, come and do your worst, I think I'm over it. Not stupid, catch me in a verse before October hits. I told you 2020's gonna lay a precedence. Now here we are, feeling fresher than a whole pack of mints. Excuse me, you owe that to the blessing of the one you love who saved you. And thank God for the testament and all the rest of it. Money goes and I'm nestled, and they told me stick to singing, so I'm showing them what blessed it is.
Cause the beat is my therapist. We listen to each other, one know just what the other need. I said the beats is my inheritance. Now roll a J and smoke it up and then exhale that shit. Cause the beat is my therapist. We listen to each other, one know just what the other need. I said the beats is my inheritance. Now roll a J and smoke it up and then exhale that shit. Look at my life, I made it. Mama came from nothing, baby. Started from the bottom, now I'm at the top like Cherry's baby. Woke up this morning, said today I'm gonna change the world. Started with my old lady, showed her she's my baby girl. Put mama in a big old house, thank God I paid it off. I can never say it, I can say it, now I made it, y'all. Got me a big old place, we barbecuing every day. And on the weekend, Magic City, gotta make it rain. I smoke a J and float away, remedy all my pain. I hope I don't have to die before they say my name. I live my life and then I live it to its limits. And you ain't gotta like it, just remember, mind your business, yeah. Cause the beat is my therapist. We listen to each other, one know just what the other need. I say the beats is my inheritance. Now roll a J and smoke it up and then exhale that shit. Cause the beat is my therapist. We listen to each other, one know just what the other need. I say the beats is my inheritance. Now roll a J and smoke it up and then exhale that shit.
That was Therapy from Kasey Yale. Thank you so much, Kasey and Difinitiv, for joining us today. Congratulations on the new album. I'm super excited for you both. I can't wait for people to check it out. Do you want to go ahead and let us know about the album and when and where we can find it?
Sure. Yeah, so the album is dropping on July 2nd of this year. So that's 7-2-2. We don't say zeros. 2-1. Yeah.
Also, it's this Friday, right?
This Friday.
It's this Friday.
Right, this Friday.
It's kind of this Friday.
All right. Well, I can't wait. I'm definitely looking forward to that this weekend. So we like to end the show with 3 singles of the week from other independent artists that we think that you should check out. So we're going to check out those singles right now. The first one is from Dylan Raw, Honeymoon.
Honeymoon. Yeah. Honeymoon, you got my heart in tune. I wished upon a full moon for you. Now I'm dealing with your attitude. Now you sing for me, I used to sing the blues. Had a hard time keeping this shit casual.
We got Demir Major with Rapido.
Mentira. Que no se asusten. Demir Major. Rápido, dale bala rápido. El ritmo te lo que se bala rápido. Rápido, dale bala rápido. En donde entre hago un espectáculo.
Then coming
Rápido,
in at
dale
number
bala
3,
rápido.
we've got Young Sam with Outta Here.
Trying to hear from the scars of my past. I gotta get out of here. Converting pains and turning cries to life. I gotta get out of here. Cause I really don't know how long this journey gon' last. I gotta get out of here. Cause I'm gonna grind and grind like it's my life.
All right, and
What these
that's
niggas wanna
it
do?
for today. Make sure you tune in every other week for reviews and news of all the latest independent music hitting the scene. You can catch me at What's Up Ash. We've got some shows from Young Baka Productions coming up this week. We've got the show at El Cocodrilo on Saturday, and we've got Venice every Sunday. Thank you for tuning in to the premiere episode of B.A.R.S, the B-Side album review show. I'm your host, Ash, and we'll see you next time.